All right, today on the podcast, we're talking about EXA, which is a really interesting concept that I haven't heard yet. And so we're excited to tell you about it. But basically, this is a new AI model that helps you train your AI models. So the problem with AI and Google search, for example, now is there's so many bots out there that you don't know where the data is coming from and what it's training on. So it's an entirely new concept. Jaden, what do you think about it?
Yeah, okay. So this is amazing. They just raised $17 million from Lightspeed, NVIDIA, and Y Combinator. So very well backed company. And I think that the need for them is huge. So essentially, it's an AI model that someone like ChatGPT or Anthropic or Gemini or any AI model would use this when they're doing the internet search side. So I think right now when you go to ChatGPT, if you ask it a question and it doesn't have it embedded in its model, it's like, okay, I'm going to like do browse with Bing. So it uses Bing to search. The problem with browse with Bing and also browse with Google is that if you've ever done a Google search in the last year, you'll know that ever since ChatGPT came out, and even before that, because there were some of these tools, there's so much spam content that is low quality content generated by AI, just spamming up the results. And Google's trying to clean it up. They've done some things, but it's still there. And I think it's just going to become more and more prevalent. It's a cat and mouse game forever where people are trying to rank in Google. So how does this, it's called EXA. How does EXA get around this, right? Because you got to search the internet when you don't know an answer. So how are they actually going to give you like a good result that's not spam? It's interesting. They've actually, essentially what they've done, they bought millions of dollars of GPUs and they trained an entire AI model. So it's not like, I don't know, it's not like just it's scraping somewhere. They have their own AI model that was trained off of public forums and the links that people share. So if someone, it's pretty much, this is the question that was asked, and this was the ultimate link that was shared, and probably what got the most upvotes on Reddit or wherever else. They've trained a model off of that. So when you do a search, or when the AI model does a search and it says, how do I do X, Y, and Z? It's like, it just essentially predicts the next link. It's like a link predictor. It predicts the next link that should show up. Kind of like how ChatGPT, when you ask it a question, it's just predicting the next word in a sentence. This is just predicting the next link or the next 10 links. Now, why is this important? I think this is insanely important for anyone doing business online today, because this is essentially the golden golden nugget on how to get your business to rank inside of AI models. I was recently on a call with a guy. He's got a big show that's famous, and if you go to Google Gemini and you search for best show in his town, very big town with lots of shows in it, he's the number one result, and he's outranking Dolly Parton and all these other famous celebrities, right? And how is he doing that? I talked to him. He said he has a whole strategy for how he ranks, but it's obviously very beneficial for him. And so we bring up this whole strategy with EXA. I'm actually going to I'll tell you about both of these ranking strategies because you're gonna love them both. But the reason I bring up EXA right now is because EXA is coming up with a new novel approach that I think everyone needs to be paying attention to, and that is, you need to be on LinkedIn, you need to be on Quora, you need to be on Yahoo Answers, if that's still a thing. Anywhere where there's communities sharing links, and you need to be sharing links to your products. This is interesting. I have a friend. I don't know if you've ever done this, Jamie, or maybe you've just been a consumer of this, but like, have you ever went to like Reddit and like, like asked a question and like given like your business as like the answer from like a different account, and then like try to like Reddit upvote yourself for anything?
I have not tried that, no, but I know that's definitely something that people do, and it's annoying.
It's super annoying, but I mean, it's a strategy that works. So I bring it up.
Right.
Yeah. So I have a friend, he has a software company, and it's funny because he said he's been hustling on this thing for years and years. And he said over the last month, and he told his intern to go to Reddit. And anytime people were asking about different fitness platforms, he had his like intern go and share his product and be like, oh, this thing is like the best or whatever. And then he got him to actually start going from one account and asking the question, and then going from the other and answering, because you can't just like self-promote, right? And I've talked to a number of other people. They do this in Facebook groups and stuff too. So anyways, this is obviously a very old strategy, but I think it's becoming more and more valuable with some of these new some of these new AI models they're not being able to go to Google. This is where they're finding the links and what's actually valuable. They're literally training AI models, which if you get your link embedded in the AI model, even if theoretically you got deleted from Reddit or something, like you'd be good. So I think this is a pretty cool strategy. But anyways, my friend with the fitness program, he said like this last month he's gotten like, I don't know, $15,000 from people. And when he asks them like, hey, like, how'd you find me? They're like, oh yeah, it's like a Reddit post. And literally his
Wow.
Reddit post that he was. So
Wow.
I think it makes serious impact. I think this is a serious
Yeah.
strategy. Now, of course, there's spammy things you can do, like go and buy upvotes on your post to try to like make it the top one. But all he says, it was totally organic. He wasn't even messing around with anything other than just going and receiving with his link to business on a bunch of other people that were actually asking. And he was getting organic votes and organic people coming in. I mean, like maybe he had like 3 accounts or something, and he would upvote 3 upvotes, but he said he'd have a handful of other people do it, and people were actually buying it. So all this to say, yeah, cool, that drives traffic, but it looks like this is also a golden nugget for getting embedded into the AI models.
Yeah, it's interesting. So part of this article says it's basically if you go to Google and you were to search, I want a research paper about wild new ideas for rocket propulsion. It shows Google's results and then Xa's results. And Google, the first 3 is like a Reddit forum, SciTech Daily. It's just like a SEO jam-packed article. It's just for keywords. And then
Probably generated by
Quora, which
AI.
is just like, what's that? Yeah, probably by
Probably
AI.
generated by
Yep.
AI. Yeah.
Yep. And then Quora, which is like a crappier version of Reddit. So like not super, not like a super quality results really. So, but then you look at the Exa results and it's like, researchgate.net, peer-reviewed articles, exactly like what you would actually be wanting to look for. So it's basically taking out the SEO spam, they're saying. So I just think
The thing
that's
that
fascinating. Yeah, go ahead.
the thing that I love about it is AI models, their job is to just reduce steps. So people like ChatGPT instead of Google because it reduces the step of having to search through Google results and then click on something. But this goes even a step further. When the Google results are a Reddit feed, it's like you search Google, you find a Reddit feed. You go to the Reddit feed, you see 20 different results that you now read through all the results and you click on a link within them. It's like layers of research. What if you could
Right.
just ask the question and boom, here is a PDF to researchgate.net and a publication they did on exponentially demonstrating the feasibility of water as a micromode electrical chemical propellant. Like, if that's really what you want, do you really want to have to go to Google, see, oh, do I want Reddit, SciTech Daily, Quora? And then when you click into Reddit, do I want which of these 20 responses are good? Which of all the links that people are sharing are good? No, you just want to get straight to the point. So
Right.
I think this is amazing. Great for sure, like users, but I think really their target audience here is for AI models to be able to use this, embed this. Great piece of software. I'm excited, but I don't bring up great pieces of software, be software for no reason. We're bringing this up because I think there is a literal way that you listening need to leverage making money from this with whatever your business is. You need to be on Reddit. You need to be on Quora. You need to be on any of these forums where people are sharing links. And this isn't abstract. It's like, well, what's the point? Like, it's way more scalable and faster around Facebook and Google Ads. Yeah, sure. But if you want to get embedded into the AI models, like this is the golden way to do it. So put some of your budget allocated towards this, put some of your time allocated towards this. You'll see some payoffs, of course, like my friend right away. But I think long term, you want to be embedded in these models, and this is the way to do it.
Would you do that with like virtual assistants then, or manually, or both?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my friend just had an intern do it. Virtual assistants would be great. If you're using a virtual assistant, you can kind of train and give them like a ChatGPT prompt, probably that comes up with good responses that don't sound cringy. Or yeah, if you just have an intern from whatever country you're in that speaks natively, that's also a good option to just go and comment on people. And it's like the one thing I will say though, with like the ChatGPT responses, people can tell if it's ChatGPT, so you have to be really careful. You need this thing to sound authentic. You are a real person that uses this product, not like one fantastically fabulous way to get your job done is with, it's like if it's too robotic in ChatGPT, people will know and they're not going to click on your link or use your product. So
Right.
make this thing human, make it human. And there's ways to use AI to make it human with like a virtual assistant, or if your virtual assistant just speaks English as their native language, that's also great. So whatever your budget is, I would get this done. I think 20 links talking about your product on a lot of different pages are great. But the thing is, you also want them to rank, because this thing is predicting what the next link should be, and it's going to be predicting whatever one's probably the most upvote. So you really gotta workshop it, but you need to be posting in these forums, I think.
And you should be joining our school community. We just launched it, and it's currently free, but it won't be free forever. It's going to be a paid community, but we're letting 50 people in for free. So if you listen to our podcast and you want to take a deeper dive in how we actually make money using AI, go join us over on school. It's going to be a good time. So
thanks so much for listening. Make sure to leave us a review if you enjoyed this episode. The link to school is in the description, and we will see the first 50 of you there for free. After that, it's probably $50 a month for the rest of you, which is an amazing value. But if you're one of the lucky people to get there first, I would jump on that link as soon as possible. Hope you all have an amazing day.